Hey everyone, Elisa here, and in this video, I'm going to tell you my 5 favorite questions to ask at the end of an interview. But before I dive in, make sure to show some love and support by liking and subscribing. So let's get into things. I want to talk through the best questions that you can ask at the end of an interview. Now, I've been interviewing a lot of people lately, and I've come to see that the questions that people ask at the end of interviews are incredibly important. In fact, for me personally, I think that when I'm interviewing people, the questions at the end are almost more important than the first impression. Sometimes I'll feel super lukewarm about a candidate, but then they'll ask such stellar questions at the end of an interview that I realize that the candidate has a really good understanding of the role and they'd be capable of growing into the role. On the flip side, I've definitely also had times where I'm interviewing someone and it feels really good throughout the interview, but then they'll ask some odd questions at the end that make me uncertain whether that person is the right fit. So I'm going to tell you my 5 favorite questions that are asked at the end of an interview, both from an interviewer perspective and from the perspective of candidates. The first question: what does success look like in this role in the first 3 months? As an interviewer, I love when candidates ask this question. It shows that they are genuinely curious about how they can succeed in the role. This question is also great if you're the candidate because you should probably know what you'll be expected to do in the first 3 months of the job. You, as the candidate, need to figure out if you are actually going to be a good fit for this job. Is this going to be a role where you can actually see yourself succeeding? That's an important thing for the candidate to assess. Interviews are a two-way street, and I think a lot of people forget this during the interview. Of course, the company is looking for the right person to fill a role, but candidates also need to assess whether the role will be a right fit for them. The next question I love asking and love getting asked is, can you tell me a bit more about the team that I would be working with in this role? So, as I was just saying, when you're interviewing for a job, you need to assess whether this job would actually be a good fit for you. So, it's important as a candidate to ask what the team would be like that you'd be working with, because odds are you'll be with these teammates 40 plus hours a week. So it's important to know a bit more about who you'll actually be working with day to day. As an interviewer, I also like getting this question because it shows that the candidate wants to be a good fit for the team and wants an overall good culture fit as well. Let's move on to the next question. Here is what I understand the role to be. Is there anything I am missing? This is such an excellent question. This question shows that a candidate is interested in fully understanding all aspects of the role that they're interviewing for. When you ask this question, it also shows the interviewer that you've researched a lot about the role and have a really good understanding of what would be expected of you. On the flip side, this is also great for the candidate because as a candidate, you want to make sure that you know all aspects of the role that you're interviewing for. You want to make sure you're not missing out on some key components of the job. It is terrible when you land a job thinking it'll be one thing and then it turns out to be something completely different. So make sure you ask a question like this so that you have all the information that you need before you would accept an offer. Okay, the next question is, what do you enjoy most about working at this company? As a candidate, I love asking this question at the end of interviews because I want to find a job where there's a great company culture and I want to work in a place where people genuinely enjoy their jobs. There is truly nothing more mind-numbing than working at a company where everyone hates what they're doing. As an interviewer, I also like receiving this question because it shows that the candidate is interested in a great company culture, which in my opinion is always a good thing for a candidate to want. Alright, so now the last question I like to end my interviews with is there anything more you need from me? 9 times out of 10, when I ask this question, the interviewer says that they don't need anything more and they have everything they need. However, once in a while, the interviewer might be thinking about something that maybe they missed during the interview, or they could be stuck on something you said during the interview and they actually have an outstanding question. So it's great to end the interview on this open-ended question just to make sure you're covering everything you want to. It's also a good way to wrap up the interview. You ask if they need anything more from you, they probably say no, and look at that, the interview's over, you can turn off that Zoom video. So there you have it. Those are my 5 favorite questions to ask at the end of an interview. If you do end up trying out these questions, please comment below and let me know how they went. Also, let me know if there's other questions that you like asking at the end of your interviews. If you like this video, please show some love and support by giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you next time. Bye, friends.